Hello and good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Today is Friday. Yesterday was Thursday. I don't know why I was confused so much about yesterday. Uh, but hey, it is now Friday. I can celebrate. We can all celebrate. Happy Friday. It's almost the weekend. I hope you guys are done with work soon, or if you're just starting, hopefully the day goes by quickly for you. Um, and welcome. I am so happy to have y'all here. My name is Agirl. Um, so it's Friday. This is my last live stream day until Monday. Saturday will be super hot on my YouTube channel, which is High Hand Sky Strider, same as my Twitch channel. And then Sunday it will be the Spirit of the North video. I'll have one of those out. So yeah, please go watch those, enjoy them. The super hot for this weekend was extremely fun to record. It was a little long because it just kept going and going, and I was just getting worse and worse. So I hope all of you enjoy how terrible I am at super hot and how lovely of a game Super the North is. Of course, you don't have to watch them if you don't care about that stuff and you only like live streams. Well, then keep enjoying my live streams. So cool. We are still doing those Yak Tracks, guys. It's gonna happen. It's going to happen. So archaeology, cool. Only 300,000 more experience. 301,000 experience, to be slightly more specific. Yeah. Let's go. So I really don't know much about archaeology, as I said yesterday. I'm just kind of fumbling around, and I'm like, I think this is what I have to do. I don't know. But hey, I have this skeleton dude, and I have a frying pan, which I've been waiting for, actually. I found it yesterday, finally. I finally understand the blue bar above my head, and I can't... It takes so long to get artifacts. It makes this skill feel useless. So, the artifacts did not count towards my base experience. At least not that I'm aware of. I don't think it counted towards my base experience. So just digging counts towards my base experience. So Lord help us all for 9 more days. But anyway, I got this skeleton dude. I got a frying pan, quote. And so I'm supposed to bury it. So let's do that. That felt like a good deed done. I should inform Venescula back at Everlight Base Camp. Oh, I thought there was gonna be like some cutscene or something. I was like totally prepared. Okay, well, let me just talk to this vampire lady or whatever. Yo, girl. If you aren't here to tell me you've figured out how to turn this blasted light off, why are you here? I want to talk about mysteries? Fallen angels? Maybe? Oh, okay. More options seem to be the right choice. Yay! Alright, great job. We found everything and I've made notes in the site report. That's it? I gained 2100 experience. Oh my goodness, that counted. Okay, so I have to assume that finishing an artifact. What do you have to do with them? Whatever. Can't think of the word. Doing the artifact did in fact give me that 1,000 experience. So off we go. I think my sandbox is almost full. Soil box, sorry, is almost full. So I'll have to go back. Let's see, what is this? Sure, let's go. Let's do this one. Sounds interesting enough. Yay! I mean, you know, like, fishing is boring, and so is woodcutting, but, like, those are like skills, basic skills from day one of RuneScape, and they're there, and I'm so used to them. And because they've been there forever, there's a lot more stuff you can do with fishing and wood cutting. And archaeology, you just sit. That's all you do. So, how's it going? um, super exciting. Jeez, the the monotony of tasks just bores me to tears sometimes. God, it's like my job. I can get, as I have said, I appreciate my job infinitely. I have learned so much. It has been so fun. It has been a wonderful journey. But like I've been there for 4 years. 1 year as full time. The other 3, I was like an undergrad assistant. I still got paid and stuff. But I just I couldn't travel obviously because I was in school. But after 4 years, there can be exciting stuff about my job, but sometimes it just gets monotonous and tiresome. And I feel like that happens with a lot of things. Like after a while, I just get really bored of something. And so when something new happens in my job or we get to go someplace new, I freak out because it's exciting, it's new, it's something different. Oh my goodness. Because I frequently visit a couple different places, and so I'm very bored of those places now. Because I'm like, yeah, I know, I've seen them. Usually they're in the middle of nowhere, so I'm like, there's literally nothing to do. There's nowhere to eat. Eating is a big thing, especially when you're doing field work. Food is the golden treasure. It's the place at the end of the rainbow. When you're done, when you've done a day of field work, all you want is a wonderful dinner. And usually, despite it usually being like 1,000,000 degrees when we're working, a nice hot dinner is something to treasure. um, Cold dinners are equally nice, but usually we all enjoy a nice hot dinner and a cold beverage. But those places, and of course, our studies are at these places, and so we have to keep going back to these places to make sure we can get the same data, not the same data, but the data located in that same area each year. That's usually how studies work. If you're doing a long-term study, you keep going back to the same place year after year so you can get some streamlined data of that area. So I have been to 2 places, the same 2 places. Now, if you told me I was going somewhere different in that state, to a different city or town to do different work, well then heck, I'd be excited. I'm all for that. It's just about going to the same places. I get bored. Um, so I feel like I've hit that point in this job where I've learned. I mean, that I'm always learning stuff from it, right? I mean, the guys I'm with have 30 plus years experience in this, or more accurately, probably 20 plus experience, 20 years experience. But it's just, I can always learn something new, but at this point in time, the new things get smaller and smaller and less. So I get more bored easily at my job. So I can only fit 50 of one colored soil. I almost said sand again. So yeah, it's it's exciting to visit new places, but if that's I understand that jobs you have to keep doing some things just because it's part of the daily routine or whatever. But I just get so easily bored. I'm afraid I will never actually find a job I want to stay in because I am so easily bored after I have learned what I think I can learn, everything I can learn from the job. Which of course, there's always new things to learn, as I said. It's not oh, I've learned everything, time to move on. Nope. If you're not learning something every day, then you're doing something wrong. You can always learn something new every day. I promise you. Um, I learn something new every day. Truly. Just pick up a book, watch TV, even play games. Heck, man, play games. I have learned so much from games. But man, maybe that's what broke me. I've played. I've said this before. I've played video games since the time I could hold a controller, basically. And video games, every level is different. Yes, you have the same skills. You can jump, you can punch, you can kick, whatever. But each level is different. There's different enemies, there's different areas to explore. Gosh, maybe video games broke me, and so if I do something similar too many times in a row, I get bored. um, I I really so I have, of course, played Pokemon over and over and over again, um, because Pokemon. Because it's every time it's a new story, it's a new characters, generally new Pokemon. Um, so like I'm cool with that. Like it's the same gig, you know what you're doing, but it's different in some way, shape, or form. That is the only game that I have like replayed. Um, actually, um, I have replayed one other game, Twilight Princess. That is hands down one of my favorite games, and I have replayed it 3 times. I played it originally on the GameCube, and then I played it on the Wii U when it came out on the Wii U, and then beat it. And I'm currently, since they have the hero mode for it now, currently going back through on the hero mode. And I guess that's true of Skyward Sword as well. I'm going back through on hero mode in that game. That's not one of my favorites of the Zelda series, but I enjoy flying. That is a very fun thing, and I like the sky islands you can fly to. Those are fun. But even that, like, even when I go back and play, you learn things. You can fight differently. You know how to fight enemies. Enemies don't always do the same thing. I mean, yeah, they'll always swing the sword, but you can attack them differently, which I guess is the same way about a job. You can always do your job differently. You can look at it differently. You can do a daily task differently. My field work, it's the it's never like there are the same things that happen. You have to do step A in order to do step B, C, and so on. But in the environment, of course, you're outside. It changes daily, changes yearly. But and the animals around you always change as well. That's funny. Um, and I think that's one thing to look at is that you're not dealing with the same animals, the same environment, whatever, every single time. But like, I guess going back to the same places, I know the areas. Sometimes you run into the same animals, not always. But I think that's probably what bores me is just going back to the same place, especially a place that is like not fun in the summertime. Like 1000%, no one wants to be there in the summertime because it's hot and humid. That's gross. Um, but Yeah, that like video games, it's always different. Every level is different. Everything's always different. Even when you go back and do a playthrough again, it's not always the same. Like you might know the area, but you might do something differently, or the enemies might act differently the second time around. Um, and I guess that's kind of why I like Breath of the Wild, and why I'm going to talk about Zelda because that's one of the games I play the most, and also one of my favorites. Breath of the Wild, you can go back to an old area from like one of the first areas you visit, and the enemies will be harder to beat because they will have been upgraded essentially. So they're not like the level 1 enemies anymore that you faced in the beginning. They're like the level 30 enemies now. So like the little Bobbikins or whatever they're called, instead of being the base red, they're like the black and white ones, which are like the super hard ones to beat. So that's why I like that game, because you can keep back to areas, and the enemies will be different. Of course, once you get to such a high level, so to say, you don't level. I mean, I guess you level up. You get more hearts and stamina in Breath of the Wild, but like you keep going back to these areas, and the enemies get harder and harder until, of course, they can't get harder anymore. Um, so even that's always different. Um, so I guess I get tired of the sameness, same daily tasks, the same going to the same places, and like yeah, you can look at it differently, and I try to keep myself entertained and keep me liking the job. But gosh, like, one of these days, I'm just gonna have to keep moving jobs because I will never be satisfied with the job I have. Like I might be okay for like a few years, but then I'll be like, meh, I've learned pretty much everything from this job. I'm bored now. Bye. Okay, real quick, we're gonna travel to the dig site, and I'm just gonna get rid of all this dirt. Um, but yeah, like I guess I've never really thought about that until now. Like, dang, I might always be bored at a job, and that's gonna suck. That's gonna suck to just keep wandering until I find the job, which I really don't know if there's the job for me. That's exciting every day. That's why I think being a zookeeper would be exciting. Because, like, yes, you might be dealing with the same animals, but the same visitors aren't coming through every day. I should say most of the time, the same visitors are coming through every day. So you're going to have the animals are going to have different interactions with the public. Hopefully good ones. Hopefully good ones. Um, no, don't throw anything at the animals, please. Don't feed them, for God's sake. Don't stick your hands through the cage. There's a cage there for a reason. Um, what else? And like the animal, like you might be dealing with the same animal every day, but just like people, animals' moods can change. So you'll be dealing with the same animal, but their mood might have changed. Something in the environment might have made them unhappy or playful or whatever. So I think working as a zookeeper would be fun because, yeah, you might be working with the same animal every day, but if you walk in there, you don't know what you will be dealing with every day. Like this animal generally could be even temperamented and very sweet and kind. But one day it might just like be like, no, get the heck out of my cage right now before I rip your face off. You don't know that. You don't know what you'll be walking into every day. Cool. What do I do with that? Um, so I think being a zookeeper would be fun. Um, I guess like I think like educational zookeeper, whatever, would be fun too. Because kids are kind of fun. If they're good kids, they can be fun to teach. Small groups, large group of kids get out of hand way too quickly. um, a small group is really nice to work with. Um, But yeah, I think a zookeeper is probably like the best job for me, just because it would be mostly pretty different every day. Um, Research is kind of like, yeah, research is always different because you learn different things every day. Yeah, that's another thing. Read research papers. Holy crap, you can learn so much. Um, where should I guess I'll go back to Everlight. Um, but yeah, research papers, like if you pick one research paper a day to read, dude, you can learn so much. It could be the most random shit too that does not freaking matter at all. But hey, you learned something new. You learned a cool new random fact that you can tell at parties. Um, no, I do not have any random facts to tell because I am very bad at remembering quick random facts that I learn. If somebody asks me a specific question, I could probably give a lecture on something. But if someone's like, "Hey, tell me something cool," I'd be like, um, "The sky is blue because of reflected particles." Like, like that's all I've got. I can't pull quick fun facts out of my mind. I'm not like an on my feet kind of thinker. Like I can be if it's a stressful situation and requires it, like field work. But like in general, I'm just like dude, I don't know. That's why we have Google. That's why we have the internet to look up quick fun random facts. um so yeah, archaeology. Kind of the same. This is research, right? This is research. Doing the same thing day in and day out. Um, and especially research for long-term projects. It's kind of the same stuff because we have to repeat the same experiment in order to see if the results will be the same or different. That's just the nature of research. I never really wanted to get into the research field, but it's kind of just where I ended up at this point. As I said, much zoo. I think that'd be pretty fun, but oh well. I don't have any animal husbandry skills, which hurts me greatly because they of course want people who know. I mean, like I know how to take care of animals, but they want professional animal caretakers at zoos, not researchers. um, so one day, I'll get. But until then, I'll enjoy my job. It's a good job to have. I cannot complain. Um, and when I leave this job, especially if I go to work in a zoo, I know I will not have as good of like days off and time and benefits and all that stuff. So it's like I wish I could stay in this job but do less field work. That would be the ideal situation. Um, but like I could move because the place I work is all researchers, um, and some of them do less field work, others do more field work. It just kind of depends on their project. It depends on what they're researching. Some of them can do it locally. Some of them have to travel. Um, so it can always, like people have moved within the depart or the, like within the research teams. Like we had one guy that moved over to a different research team, and I'm like, man, I should do that. There's one research team that I've frequent frequently oh my gosh talk frequently worked with, and most of their studies they can do here in Colorado, and I don't have to travel as much. And I'm like, yes, that's what I want. um, and like I love traveling, but I like traveling to different places because, as I said, once you travel to the same place, it gets kind of monotonous. It's kind of boring because you know what to expect. Um, and so that's why, like, I love traveling, but I like going to different places. Of course, if I like a place, I'll be like, yeah, sure, I'm like totally cool with going back there. But I would much rather go somewhere new than revisit a place I've already been. Because sameness. Why do I want the same? I want different. And of course, wasn't really able to travel last year. Hopefully this year is better. And we can travel more. Because that's like the only thing that I miss from COVID is not being able to travel. Yeah, so fun. I love going to new places. I love learning new things. Especially when you go to like older places, European countries, it's fun. You can learn a lot. And I also, because I have played all of the Assassin's Creed games, it is great fun for me to go to those places, like Spain. Like I've been to Spain, and I was like, oh my god, guys, this looks like Assassin's Creed. um, but that's one of the reasons why I really want to visit Italy so badly. Want to visit Italy. But yeah, because I am an Assassin's Creed nerd, I love visiting those kinds of places because I'm like, oh my god, I can tell you about this because I read about it in a video game. Which, see, video games are very informational. You just gotta pick the right ones. Yes, Assassin's Creed is violent, but hey, they have fun little like informational. Did you know? Especially about the buildings. I don't think it's so much now in the newer games, but in the old games, it kind of got annoying. There would always be like a little blurb that would pop up, like, "Oh, you have visited the." I, I really don't remember the names of anything. And of course, that information is long gone because I don't use it, so I don't retain any of it. But like, oh, you have encountered the Leaning Tower of Pisa in 1100 AD. Blah blah blah. Just stuff like that, like all constantly in the old games. And less, or they're less slice, I guess. But still, super fun, super educating game. You have like legit historians that do all that stuff. That's one reason why it's being fun and like people to run around and jump on buildings and shit. I really appreciate the historical accuracy they have put into the, and even with the characters, historical figures, of course, not your assassin person playing. But yeah, like those, it's fun to learn about those people too. As I have said, very bad at history. I'm very bad. I don't remember much. Generally, tell you when an event happened. Um, can't tell you what happened. I might be able to tell you someone involved, but I'm really bad. I like history. I do. I enjoy it. It's super interesting. Self always learn from history. Jeez. I wish we could learn from history. But yeah, like super interesting stuff. History and just really long-winded information like that. Um, it's like paragraphs of information on these wars and these people and places and so on. But for you people out there who can remember all of that, kudos to you. The brain power to remember things like that, apparently. But hey, so I remember some stuff, obviously. Mostly, like, especially in archaeology, used into one field. It's really hard to get out. I'm telling you, really hard to get out of one field in that field. But yeah, you get, and that's same with historians, just into one era or whatever. In biology, research gets into one animal or a category of animals, such as for those of you who don't know, ungulates consist of sheep, goats, pigs, blah blah blah, whatever. Things that can be farm animals are also wild or can be feral, stuff like that. So I feel like I've been doing this a long time. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm gonna keep digging and digging and digging and working on my house every now and again. Gotta do some things around the house. But I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday. Thanks for listening to my rant about monotonous of archaeology, of research, of my job, of the monotony of life. That sounds kind of depressing. Um, does that sound better? Maybe. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys feel like joining me in archaeology, I don't blame you if you don't want to. World 2, I'm in the Evidence Dig site. My name's Agirl. On Read, you guys got me up. Totally cool with that. And I will have Super Hot posted Sunday. I will have Spirit of Earth posted on my YouTube channels, High Hand Sky Strider, same as my Twitch. So go check those out. I've had a lot of fun recording those and posting them because they streamed content. So I've been talking about this. I hope you guys check them out. I hope you guys enjoy my live stream. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I hope it's beautiful. I'm looking outside. Have I been outside today? No. Should I? Probably. Probably. I will see you guys on Monday, 9:30 a.m. We will be doing archaeology. So I will see you guys. Bye.